What if the can you reach for on a busy night isn't comfort at all, but a fast track to watery sauce, mushy noodles, and a weird, tinny tomato aftertaste, right? Tonight, we're opening the most common canned pastas on U.S. shelves, calling them like they taste, and telling you which ones absolutely aren't worth your money. We're judging the way you do at home. Open can aroma, first bite, texture after 2 minutes in the bowl, and the do I want another spoonful? Test. And yes, we're naming names. Let's start with Campbell's SpaghettiOs Original. Nostalgia can't hide the issues. The sauce runs sweet and shallow, the tomato tastes hollow instead of slow cooked, and the rings go soft so fast you're basically eating baby food texture by the halfway point. If you're chasing childhood vibes, fine, but expect a thin, sugary red gloss that never builds into real flavor. Campbell's spaghetti doesn't fix it. The long noodles come out limp within seconds. The sauce is watery, and the tomato reads sharp and one-note, like a rushed weeknight marinara that never simmered. You'll get a brief hit of tang, then a flat fade and a slick on the spoon. Add salt, and it gets saltier. Add pepper, and you're just peppering water. SpaghettiOs with meatballs doubles down on softness. The meatballs are uniform and spongy, seasoning is timid, and they shed into the sauce like crumbs. You end up with a sweeter, muddier bowl with little pops of bland protein that never taste seared or savory, because they aren't. It fills you up without satisfying. SpaghettiOs with chicken meatballs goes even lighter on flavor. The chicken spheres are ultra tender in a processed way. The sauce is the same thin red, and the whole bowl reads like hospital cafeteria comfort. Soft, safe, and forgettable. If you want flavor, it's not here. Annie's Bernie O's looks like the cleaner option, but the sauce is thin and undersalted. The O's go from firm to floppy fast, and the tomato leans bright in a way that tastes unfinished, like canned diced tomatoes that never got herbs or thyme. You pay a premium for a label, you don't get a premium spoonful. Annie's organic cheesy ravioli has a pleasant idea. Mild cheese inside a pillow, but the cheesy reads faint, the sauce is watery, and the pockets split too easily. You wind up chasing flavor with hot sauce or Parmesan because the can won't deliver it on its own. If you like subtle, you'll call it delicate. If you like taste, you'll call it dull. Chef Boyardee beef ravioli is pure nostalgia, and a reminder that nostalgia isn't seasoning. The pasta is rubbery around the seams, the meat filling is uniform and pasty, and the sauce swings sweet with a faint metallic edge. It's the kind of bowl that tastes okay for 3 bites and then turns into a chore. Chef Boyardee beefaroni at least spreads the meat into a sauce, but the elbows slide toward gluey. A greasy film builds on top, and the tomato profile is that same sweet first, flat later signature. It's heavy without being hearty, full stomach, empty flavor. Chef Boyardee spaghetti and meatballs gives you limp strands and meatball marbles that taste identical from can to can because they are. The herbs are lifeless, the sauce is sugary, and halfway through you feel like you're eating one texture with 3 shapes. Walmart's great value. Pasta rings and meatballs is budget comfort that eats exactly like budget comfort. A thick, syrupy red sauce, inconsistently seasoned meatballs that can go grainy, and rings that swing from firm to soggy depending on the batch. You can coax it along with pepper and Parmesan, but straight from the can, it's clunky and sweet. Now, the one you asked to add, Walmart's great value spaghetti. This is where the wheels really come off. The sauce is often straight up watery, bleeding across the bowl, and the tomato note isn't just thin. It can taste sour, sharp, and downright nasty, like undercooked canned tomato with no herbs to save it. The noodles break when you try to twirl, the bite is limp from the jump, and there's a faint can liner aftertaste on bad batches that clings to the spoon. If you're trying to save money, this isn't a deal. It's a bowl you'll abandon halfway through. Aldi's Bon Italia spaghetti and meatballs isn't much better. You get cafeteria energy, flat sauce, gentle salt, little herb lift, and meatballs that add mass but not flavor. You can fix it with chili flakes, but that's you doing the brand's job. Organic's cheesy mini ravioli finishes the set with tiny pillows and a gelatin-leaning sauce that wobbles between sweet and bland. The filling is there, but cheesy is more label than taste, and the afterbite is forgettable. Bottom line on the lineup, too many cans taste like sweetened tomato water poured over overcooked pasta. If the word you keep using is watery, you're not wrong. If the word after that is nasty, you probably opened a budget spaghetti can with a sharpened tomato tang that never mellowed. If you're stuck with a can, here are honest fixes that can rescue some, not all of these. Heat a teaspoon of olive oil first, bloom a pinch of red pepper flakes, then add the can. Fat plus heat gives thin sauce a backbone. Stir in a teaspoon of tomato paste to thicken. If it's still watery, simmer 1 extra minute. Add acid at the end, 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar or a squeeze of lemon cuts that harsh, nasty tomato edge. Toss in a pinch of garlic powder and Italian seasoning. Overdo nothing. Finish with grated Parmesan and black pepper. If meatballs taste mealy, crumble in half a cooked sausage link for real browning. If sodium's high, split the can and bulk with a handful of steamed frozen peas or broccoli. You'll still get a full bowl with less salt per bite. Rapid Buyer's Guide. If you absolutely must buy canned pasta, the fewer expectations you bring, the less disappointed you'll be. If you want the least offensive ring pasta baseline, regular SpaghettiOs is the most consistent, but still sweet and soft. Meatball versions in any brand add weight, not flavor. Annie's labels look clean, but the sauce is thin and the taste is timid. Chef Boyardee feels hearty for 3 bites and then collapses into sweet, rubbery sameness. Great value. Pasta rings and meatballs is a cheap stretch that eats cheap. Great value spaghetti is the red flag. Watery, sour, nasty tomato, limp noodles, canny aftertaste. Skip it. Here's the truth. Nobody in this aisle wants to say out loud. If you need real comfort for cheap, 1 box of dry pasta and one $1 jar of passable marinara will beat most of these cans every single time. Better texture, cleaner flavor, same budget. If the can is your only option, doctor it hard or don't bother. Tell me which can you regret the most and which fix actually saved dinner.